multiple access. Okay. See, multiple access in the sense, see, if you take any broadcast TV signal, okay, so it is transmitting the signal, and how many receivers are there? There are multi-users. Okay. So in that case, there is a concept arising nothing but multiplexing. Okay. So depends upon it whether it should be a frequency multiplex or time-based multiplexing or not. That's a concept. Okay. So wherever we are having a signal, if you take a mobile signal to be get transmitted, there we are having your multiplexing to get happen. Okay. So this is a scenario where you will be having a multiple access for your signals. Okay. So I'm coming to the next is so we are having possibilities of receiving the signal in so many factor of application. You take getting your radio signals or getting your telephone signals or a video signal or a voice signals. Okay. So in general they have specified as to be a analog signal and digital signal. Okay. But applications is more a common category to be done in the form of analog and digital version. Okay. So if you take a digital signals, we are getting your signal to be what? It is a TV broadcast. Okay. So so many classification are there. For example, we are having direct to H, which is nothing but DTH telecast. So and then we are having HD telecast. Okay, high definition. So what is the main difference between this? What is the main difference in this? Whatever the way of signal we are receiving, either it's going to be a DTH direct to home or non-series. The high definition quality signal is necessary. The main difference is the way of the signal transmitted through the satellite will differ. That is the first thing. For example, if you take DTH, they will use a satellite called as geostationary satellite. Okay. For example, if you take a HD transmission, in that case, the frequency is different. So what is HD? We can explicitly see the visual difference in normal quality of the signal. HD is a very high quality one. How the very quality one is going to differentiate based on the frequencies. Okay. So we don't have any buffer of the signal to get transmitted during HD videos. Okay. HD video buffer and another thing is clarity. In that clarity and the bufferness speaks your range of frequency. Okay. As already we have discussed in the very fundamental classes, we know that we are having certain range of frequency for the application what we are using in the range of a frequency band. So in that case, for DTH signal, the range of frequency for high definition they have certain range of frequency. In this possibility only we are classifying our signals in the form of analog as well as a digital form. Okay. So for these things, what to perform your multiplexing, obviously we need to have some basic step which is nothing but your modulation process. Okay. So the higher end modulation, obviously what type of modulation here we are using? Frequency now. Okay. So what we have to do to improve your signal, we have to go for only the case of frequency modulation. Okay. So for all the transmission in the case of multiple access, frequency modulation play a vital role. So this is a brief concept what we are going to discuss in this unit. Okay. So one type of multiplexing and a specific of modulation, we will know the detailed description of every concept. Entirely where we are applying what we have discussed. Okay, clear? So take down. Next heading is modulation and multiplexing. And always keep remember modulation is different from multiplexing. I know that you know it. Okay. Modulation and multiplexing. Satellite communication, take this step. Satellite communication are used to carry telephone, video and data signal. both which can use both analog and digital modulation technique, which can use both analog and digital modulation techniques. The modulation and multiplexing techniques, the modulation and multiplexing techniques that were used at this time, that were used at this time were analog, adapted from the analog, adapted from the something writing or not, adapted from the technology developed for microwave links, developed for microwave links. Microwave link. Next point, say everything in a point by statement. Okay, a brief description of it. Frequency modulation is a choice of modulation. Frequency modulation is a choice of modulation. FDMA is a choice of multiplexing. FDMA is a choice of multiplexing. FDMA is used to combine. FDMA is used to combine hundreds or FDMA is used to combine hundreds or thousands of telephone channels, hundreds and thousands of telephone channels onto a single microwave carrier, onto a single microwave carrier. Television signal can be continuously transmitted via television signal can be continuously transmitted via geo satellites using frequency modulation. Geo satellites using frequency modulation. Digital television in the form of direct broadcast satellite television. Direct broadcast satellite television, in bracket write as DBS TV, and high definition television frequency modulation. So wherever frequency modulation comes, you can make a shortcut of FM. Okay. Frequency modulation for the transmission of video signals. Frequency modulation for the transmission of video signal. Also for single channel pair and also for single channel pair carrier voice signal. Single channel pair carrier voice signals. Okay. Next point. FDMA remains one of the major way. FDMA remains one of the major way in which transponder capacity is shared. In which transponder capacity is shared among users. FDMA divides in frequency band. FDMA divides in frequency band in the transponder into channel. In the transponder into channel, which are allotted to different signals. Which are allotted to different signals. And next heading, voice. Next heading, voice, comma, data and video, hyphen, telephone speech signal. See, first we are going to see in voice, we are going to see about the telephone. Okay. So telephone speech signal. First we are going to see about the voice signal. Okay. And then we are going to see about the data signal, and then we are going to see about your video signal. Okay. So take down. So voice signal, what we are going to take is nothing but your telephone signal. Okay. The telephone speech signal. See, all the frequency range values very important in this chapter. Okay. Because we are going to see all the different types of the signals that we are going to do. So only the main difference is to be your frequency. Okay. So it should be very careful with the value what we are going to use it. Okay. The telephone speech signal is one of the audio signal. Bandwidth of 20 kilobytes. An electric transducer converts the audio signal into electrical signal. Converts audio signal into electrical signal. The telephone speech signal exhibits an amplitude with both active speech and silent interval. Both active speech and silent interval. can be determined. It can be determined with the practical peak. With the practical peak to PO. Average ratio of 19 dB, which is in the acceptable level. The speaker, speaker in the sense the one who talk in the phone, okay? Clear? The speaker tends to speaker could try to use the info so that you can understand clearly. The speaker tends to pass between pass between phrases and sentences. Phrases, PHASES, and sentences. The average duty cycle is given by 30% to 40%. This will be an active case. 70% to 60% for ideal time. See, don't talk. They'll be explaining, okay? Just take it. Who is talking? In digital transmission, the additional parameter to be considered are, in digital transmission, the additional parameters to be considered are bits per second, and bit error rate, Either we are writing or not, and bit error rate, which is required to support speech telephony, which is required to support speech telephony of a threshold of about 10 to the power of 4. 10 to the power of 4. If the threshold exceeds 10 to the power of 4, if the threshold exceeds 10 to the power of 4, the speech level is unacceptable. The speech level is unacceptable. Okay. See, the concept is simple, and normally how a telephonic conversation to be done, in that way they are modulating their signals. Okay. See, the very first thing, how it is to be considered the first concept what I have given as a note. Okay. So earlier, so the first very cases, they will determine the voice in the form of a what? Analog drum. Okay, don't have the continuous of it. Okay. See, whenever we are having telephonic conversation, we don't have continuous speech of it, isn't it or not? So we will be having some break to it. Okay. So during that particular instant, initially if I'm having a conversation means each and every word or each and every continuity of my voice will have a certain intensity level. Okay, so if I'm having a streak of continuously means quite of sometimes I will have my voice modulation will be low. So in some case it will be raised. So obviously what happened? The signal prediction will not be in a same level. Okay, so again we have some up and down. So we have it in this form of it. Okay, so based on this pattern of signal can be raised. Okay, so just for a simple example, the diagram implies that what happened here at this point the pitch of my voice is very high. Okay, in some other scenario it's quite low when comparing to the previous one. Okay, and here I am having some lag of it. Okay, so in this what happened, I don't have any voice of it. Now that is I am having here my silent voices will be recorded. Okay, so in this case we are changing this into a form of a continuous signal later. Okay, so discrete and later we are having it in the form of a continuous signal. Okay, so in another one scenario if you take it, now we are having a telephonic conversation in both sides simultaneously. But very earlier stage what happened, how a conversation exists, if a person talks, the other has to listen now. Listen panada we basic take modium. So we are, remember the phone which they keep in the ear and they will have in the mouth, right? So ஒருத்தவங்க பேசும்போது இன்னொருத்தவங்க கேட்கதான் செய்வாங்க. They can't be able to speak. Okay, so that is one scenario of it, how a signal is to be done. So once the speaker is talking, the other person who is the receiver, he has to listen. So when the signal கொடுக்கும்போது என்ன ஆகுதுன்னா, so the one speaks, okay, so simultaneously what என்னன்னா other இன்னொருத்தவங்க வந்து பார்த்தா you don't have communication. Okay, and next set of receiver what happened, when they speak, the another person has to listen after. Okay, so this is how the voice signal comes into that. அதுதான் நம்ம பார்க்கலாம். ஓகேவா, so இதுதான் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா they are saying in technical form. That's all. Okay, and here they are giving some threshold value that if we having a threshold to the value of 10 to the power of 4, in that case the speech is to be recorded or it's to be heard by clarity. If it exists with that threshold, you can't able to have the signal properly. Okay, so with this voice signal is clear. And next we can see about the data signals.